Hey everyone, this is Kelly, the guy that runs the website that you're looking at. I am just going to do a real quick review today of my new phone that I got, the AT&T 8525, also known as the HTC Hermes, and a couple different phones rebranded to other places. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to try to keep this fairly short and concise because there's lots of other reviews out there about this guy, so I'll just keep it to what I thought was relevant. First of all, I like the interface. I should say that when I originally received the phone, it was running Windows Mobile 5, which is sort of old and clunky. I upgraded that using the official ROM from HTC's website to the Windows Mobile 6 platform, which Microsoft actually did a really good job on. It really changed some things, especially like detecting Wi-Fi. That really helped it quite a bit. And then I ended up loading something called the HTC New Default theme, which is the gray type of color you see by default. It's like a bluish type of color. And then I also added something called the HTC Touch Home plugin, which is everything you see up in this area. It looks kind of similar to the interface on the new HTC Touch. Not exactly the same, but you still get a lot of similar functionality. So the interface on it I thought was really cool. The Wi-Fi on it also, of course, is really neat. I made sure to get a phone that had Wi-Fi in it because I absolutely refuse to pay $20 a month for an edge connection through AT&T, which just is not worth the money, in my opinion. Some disagree. I say to each their own. But anyway, the internet on it is definitely very capable. It's pretty close to what you would expect to Wi-Fi, maybe a little bit slower. So if you take a look at it, a lot of places have mobile versions of their websites. Google is a good example. And then if you read my last post, hexidesk.com now does have an official mobile version of the page. In fact, there's the post right there. Neat. So anyway, the internet through Wi-Fi is definitely fairly capable. And the last thing that I thought was pretty cool was the form factor. There's lots of different things that you can use to interact with it. By default it comes in the portrait mode. I remapped a key to automatically throw it into landscape mode, just because sometimes that's pretty cool. And then from there it also has the slide out keyboard, which you can see if you slide it in and out. I'll slide it back in, that it automatically turns back over to portrait mode. So that's handy. Comes with a stylus, so if you're looking to use a stylus, if you're the type of person that wants to use a stylus, they provide you a stylus. They actually provide two, which I guess is handy. Other than that, I think it's just it's a really cool phone. The thickness on it it's a little bit thicker than if you were coming from, say, an iPhone. The iPhone probably ends right around there, if that is helpful at all, which it probably isn't. But anyway, it's definitely a little bit thicker than the iPhone. But if you can get over that fact, I definitely think it's a cool phone. It probably has a lot more customization features than the iPhone would have, which is pretty locked down at this point, even though there's stuff like Jailbreak out there that is doing a pretty good job of opening that up. But anyway, it's definitely a cool phone, and I would highly recommend it to anyone that is looking at getting a phone that's a little bit more capable than something like the 3125, which is what I came from, which is a nice phone, but it does lack some features, notably Wi-Fi. But anyway, hope that was helpful to some of you.